What's going on? I just pulled into this parking lot because I was thinking through some stuff in my head, and I'm jamming out to some 80s music, and it always gets my brain in like this, I don't know, creative, like good mood. And I was at work today, and I was doing something that I normally don't like to do, but I started enjoying it. And I wanted to ask you guys if you ever had a situation where you've done something in the past that you hated, but the more and more you did it, you started to enjoy it, and you got to the point where you actually really enjoyed it. And I think it's a common phenomenon that sometimes maybe we don't realize happens. And I've been trying to be more thoughtful in my life, just try to pay attention to, like, ask myself why a lot, because I feel like when you ask yourself why a lot, it kind of gets your brain more engaged about why you do the things you do, and makes you a little bit more intentional with your actions. So one of the things that I realized was the reason I didn't like doing what I was doing in the past is because I wasn't that great at it. I was installing some door locks, putting some trim on, doing some general construction, and some of the things that I was doing today I did in the past for myself at the house, and it just didn't come out great. And the reason it didn't come out great is because I wasn't proficient. I wasn't good at it. I didn't have a lot of practice. And so the end result wasn't something that I was satisfied with, and it made me kind of resentful towards the action of having to do that. But the more and more I did it, the more and more I practiced it, the better I became. I started learning some tricks, some little tips. I asked some people who were really good at it, and they showed me some things to do that made me better at it. And now I've done it so much that every time I do it, it comes out great. I'm more confident, and it's a much better experience, the process of doing it. And I started thinking about that and equating it to other things you do in life. You think about depression, anxiety, anger, irritation, different moods that you experience throughout life, whether it's from PTSD or not. But you get into these things that you hate. And what I realize is a lot of these emotions I was feeling in those times, I was upset because I wasn't proficient in handling those emotions. I wasn't good at dealing with what I was feeling. And now I'm realizing, after going through hundreds of hours of counseling with some really good counselors, and being taught more than just the counseling. For me, when you go to just a bitch session and you just dump all your feelings out, I just didn't enjoy that. What I really enjoyed was I found a counselor who was more, had a method. It was something that you could do. He gave me homework. He gave me things to try, things I could apply, a practical application, which is, for me, my personality. If you can tell me what to do, how to do it, and why to do it, and I know what the end result is going to be, then I'm willing to put that effort in. And I can see results, I can track results, I can see it in my own life, and it's worth putting the effort in to do it because you get a good outcome. Well, that's what this counselor was doing for me, is he was teaching me how to handle situations that I was uncomfortable with, how to handle situations that I didn't have proficiency in. Things like having a tough conversation with my spouse. You know, my wife might say something that I didn't like, and I didn't know how to handle it, so my go-to was always anger, shouting, yelling, establishing dominance. You know, I'm a machine gunner at heart, and machine gunners, we take a situation that we don't like and we achieve fire superiority by volume of fire, right? And when you're proficient in that, you apply that to other scenarios. So, you know, if I'm taking fire from my wife, you know, aka she's telling me something that I don't enjoy listening to, so I fire back, barrage of, you know, onslaught of words to gain dominance in that scenario. However, the outcome always ended poorly for both of us. And it was, so I would start getting resentful of even the slightest hints of a scenario that would lead to an argument like that. However, when my counselor gave me tools and taught me how to engage in a conversation that might be uncomfortable and be assertive versus passive or aggressive, you can be really effective, and you can completely change a simple situation using these tools, articulating what you feel in a very assertive way through kindness. You don't have to be a dick. Assertive doesn't mean being a dick. It means respecting yourself, knowing what you want, and articulating it in a kind way, firm. This is what I mean. This is what I need. And asking the other party or the other person to respect that. And when you get good at it, you actually start to look forward to scenarios where prior a conflict scenario might really make you feel uncomfortable and you hated it. But now I've noticed that my wife and I will have conversations, or, other people that I've dealt with, whatever, come to a situation where previously it was a scenario I hated because I had zero proficiency and the outcome was always bad. Now, with some proficiency and some practice and some skill, these same situations, exact same situations, I have such a different outlook. So, my suggestion or my own observation from my experiences in life that I've noticed have had positive outcomes is, if you're in a situation that happens to be something that is recurring, it happens to you more than once, or it's a big deal for you in your life and you dread it, be thoughtful, be considerate about the situation, and try to break it down and decide what is it about that scenario that you hate. And if it's because you hate it because the outcome is not good, because you lack proficiency, then I encourage you to try to figure out how to get better at it. And I bet that if you were able to get better at these skills, the outcome would be different. And instead of dreading those scenarios, you might look forward to them. Just a little thought I had while I was driving, and maybe it'll help you guys out. As always, be good to yourselves and others, and take care. Out.